Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Europa Universalis IV. This is the Community Clash, and we are on the 13th session now. We do have several players who are not here at present. So, the political situation this session is going to be full of warfare, I suspect, because Hindustan is being substituted by Val. The Ottomans are not protected. Uran is not here. They are protected. Commonwealth is not here and is not protected. The Timurids has a substitute. I think that's Gabs. Congo is technically protected, but he has decided to forego protection, so the Congo is open for conquest. Maguindanao is not protected. He missed last session. The Netherlands are currently being substituted. Okay, I'm not sure who that is. The USA is not here, is not protected, because they were not here last week either. And then Sweden is not here, and is also protected. So yeah, loads of openings, and potential for just completely rewriting the map, basically. There's definitely been a bit of a turnaround with players not showing today and last session. Like it seems to be as soon as you hit the Age of Revolutions and you start to get the establishment of definite hegemons like Revolutionary Russia and Hindustan, other players start losing interest. That's definitely something that we are experiencing at the moment. There is a very large fight going on at the moment. That is Inca versus Texas versus Prussia. We do have a Texas, so that is going to be ongoing. Also, I've just noticed that the sounds from yesterday are still turned off. Let me go and fix that. What is it? We've got the follows, which should be at... where's the notepad I had open? Telling me what volumes to use. So the follows are supposed to be at 20%. Volume. Save. And then we have the subscriptions at 50. Because it was just so ridiculously loud. I'm going to have the same problem now, I think. In fact, I think I might just turn them down just in general, down to, say, 30 and 10. I really need to work out what the hell is going on with the audio. I don't understand why Discord is coming through so quietly at the moment. Or so loudly, rather. Discord's coming through really loudly. Which is basically making my voice in comparison sound really, really quiet. Jackson, thank you very much for the resubscription. Very much appreciate that. Coming in with a 19-month Twitch Prime resub. Thank you very, very much for that, Jackson. 19 months. As always, I love your content, Mordred, especially the most recent Hearts of Iron 4 and EU4 multiplayer games. Thanks. That's awesome. Yeah, those of you who were watching yesterday, what did you think of the Hearts of Iron multiplayer? Like, I know the Friday one had a couple of complaints, but that was mostly because of the people that we were playing with. But yesterday was the community. They know the standards that I set, and I am pretty rigorous about enforcing that. So I hope that the general, overall spirit of what was coming through was better, and my being in chat with the allies in the second half of that in particular was a lot better. Discord itself has a volume setting, and yeah, I know Discord does. I've turned the Discord volume down, but the problem is that turns it down for you guys. It also turns it down for me, and then I can't hear it. So I have to turn my headset up massively to compensate for that fact. And then when something on stream comes through, it just blows my ears out. And yeah, the stream audio mixer doesn't actually seem to do anything. Like, I can change the volume. The only thing that actually works in that is mute. I think this is just Streamlabs OBS just being completely, utterly rubbish again. I'm really going to have to go back to regular OBS. Like, this is just getting worse and worse. And I've heard that I'm not the only one that complains about it. It's just so nice having chat and notifications integrated. Like, for the multiplayer especially, because it just mitigates. Because usually I would, if I went back to normal OBS, it would be OBS window, it would be notifications window, and it would be a chat window, all separate. And then also the Discord window, so I can see who's in the commentary box with me. And that gets a real problem to juggle, because it's all on one screen, and they're all overlapping each other to make sure it all fits. If it was just me streaming regularly, then that is not a problem because I'm not having to juggle the windows. And most importantly, not having to juggle Discord. Because Discord basically sits behind everything except when it's active, in which case it comes forwards. And it gets activated whenever I have to click on it. Yeah, it's a problem. Stream of problems. Anyway, Inca and Prussia are still fighting. Let's go and take a look over here. So we have the Texans currently building up a large fleet of light ships. Why building light ships? You're at war, you should be building heavies to stop them importing more troops. It's a bit of a weird one. We also have Andalusia currently fighting against Hindustan. Right, Andalusia and Sale versus Hindustan and Bengal. So we have Hindustan troops just holding out over there. This was with the Timurids, wasn't it? Did the Timurids just peace out? I think they must have. Yes, in fact, they've all just peaced out. Shan is currently at war with Maguindanao, so this is going to be the division of the Filipino territory, seeing as Maguindanao is not here. We have Shan, that's who we just talked about. We have Hindustan. Oh, Andalusia, I think, has just lost connection. That sounds like a not enough monitors problem. Yeah, it is. I do need a third one, for sure. Then I can have Discord and music on the third one. Part of the problem that I have there is my computer is on the desk and it basically takes up a lot of space. When I move and get somewhere new to live, then I'll have more space and I'll be able to actually mess around with that. Right, so Brazil is fighting against Japan. Nope. This is the Maguindanao War of Independence against Japan, which Brazil is fighting alongside Maguindanao. And then we have Milan and the Papal States going up against the Ottomans. The Ottomans not protected, so they are also fair game. And it's Milan who's getting in early to carve that up. So let's take a look at the territories which are available for grabs. The Ottoman territories are going to be up for grabs. Maguindanao is. Half of Japan is. Who are the others? Sweden is protected. Oh, America and the Commonwealth. Oh man, I forgot about the Commonwealth. Commonwealth could be a big one, actually. This is going to be a race against time between Russia, Austria and Prussia, I suspect, to take out the Commonwealth. And then we also have the United States over here, which is probably just going to get gobbled up by Britain, unless somebody decides to step in and stop them. Huzzah! Did a lot of the players drop out? Yeah, people are dropping like flies at the moment. On the topic of yesterday's multiplayer, nothing to complain about. It's a blast to watch, minus the Yugoslavia bug and the one you had at the end. Hopefully Paradox solves it. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping on. Oh, and the Congo. The Congo is also up for grabs. Congo should be protected, but they elected not to accept the protection, so I've heard on the grapevine that somebody's going to be coming after them. Shame, has it been bad blood with the players? Just real life. I think it's partially real life and partially just the fact that this is... Whoops.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, boss man. Long time no see, huh?
Hello.
Oh, I haven't talked to you in forever.
Yeah,
Oof.
at least 12 hours.
I know. So we're going to do a rehost, because we had 3 players who were, when it said they were all joined, were still stuck on the all players have arrived screen.
Oh, okay.
And as a result, I could not pause the game at all, or adjust the passage of time speed at all.
Okay.
Once we had unpaused, so
we'll just go back to that first save.
I took us another save, but if you want to go back to the first one to be safe, we can...
I'll go back to the first one, because time did pass, so the AI might have screwed them.
Yep, so we'll do that then.
Okay. Let us know when it's up. Yep, cool, thank you. Alright, so that was the admin just telling us, sorry, not the admin, the host telling us what was going on here. Now we know. We've had some tech issues. No surprise here. Anyway, yeah, so with the player dropping, I think it's just the fact that it's late game now. Most of the game has passed. We're in the 1700s. Trying to think where in the 1700s, because I don't quite remember offhand. Things like the early to mid. But regardless, we're in the late game now. And definite player hegemons are starting to emerge. Like, we've got Revolutionary Russia, which is going to be very difficult to fight. 1740, thank you, Cold Rage. And we have Hindustan, who is also going to be very difficult to fight. But, as we've seen with the downfall of the Ottomans, and the Ottomans have been dominant pretty much the entire game up till this point, things can happen. People can crush and die and burn. But obviously there is a little bit of fatigue setting in, I think. So much multiplayer in 1 week. Yeah, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Don't worry, that's going to be an off thing. Back to single player stuff as of next week, with a couple of things coming up. So, exciting times next week. Some stuff later in the week. I want to get some RimWorld in. Like, I definitely need to write my schedule and try and get that up this evening. Unfortunately, Sundays have gone from my kind of second, not quite day off, but like relaxed day, to now being my busiest day. It's ridiculous. Like, all the things I want to do with my friends and things, I'm just like cramming in on Sunday. So, yeah, not much time. Because I basically go from this game to having an hour off, and playing League of Legends with my friends, to having about half an hour off, and then playing D&D until about 3:30 AM. And then any editing and rendering on top of that afterwards. More work? I don't want to do this. I'm not listening. I do like the peasant voice, it's very good. Hello. Hello. I wish I could do the other voices just as well. Ready to serve, my lord. Yeah, I can't quite get the gruntiness of the knight. Ready to serve, my lord. No, it doesn't work. Give me a quest. Me told you, me not that kind of orc. No, I can't do the orcs at all. Not even going to try. The humans draw near. That was Warcraft 1. I'm a dreadlord, not a drug lord. Don't anger me. I warned you. Stop rocking the boat. You're making me seasick. Join the army, join the navy. Oh, hang on. Join the army, they said. See the world, they said. I'd rather be sailing. Hello there, Sonny. Want me to fly? I'm flying. Goodbye. When my work here is finished, when my work here is done, I'm coming back for you. I really need to work on the night voice. I wish I could do it. What ho? Yes? Ready to serve, my lord. Haha, the motor team had some good ones. There's a chip on your shoulder. Yes, and a bit of fish too. That was just generic Scottish accent, because I can't do the more nuanced Scottish accents. Alright, is the game up?
Mordred,
hello.
We've rehosted. Everyone else is logged in except you.
I don't... Oh, here we go. When I try to join off of Charles, it doesn't show. So I was just, like, clicking on Charles, like, no join game yet. No join game yet. Whoops. And then I get the password wrong.
your own name.
I know! I've got the exclamation mark, as I always do. We're having too much fun doing Warcraft voices.
Yeah, I was. I have that in the other ear. It was interesting when.
I need to try and remember more of them. I used to be able to do basically every single voice in the game, at least on the Alliance side. It's connecting, albeit taking a while. Come on. Wow, this is taking a really long time to connect. This is abnormal. Game not found. Well, that's not good. Oh, now I can actually see the game. Okay, that helps. There we go. There we go. Crikey, that took a while. I think Mordred might struggle with Jim Raynor's voice. Yeah, I was never really that into StarCraft, so I can't really say much about them. Space talk. Generic space talk. Here we go. All players have arrived. Marvellous. Okay. So it looks like everyone is in. We actually have an Ottomans this time, so the Ottomans have shown. So let me just go and update the sheet to say Ottomans are here. Which might also have precluded the war against Milan. Yeah, Milan had not yet declared war on the Ottomans. So I wonder if there's going to be a repeat of that particular conflict. So, back to what is going on. We have the ongoing war between Prussia and Texas over here. And Texas is apparently buying lots and lots of stuff. What's he buying? Mercenaries, I think. Oh no, heavy ships. He's building lots and lots of heavy ships. Having realized that he was in fact building light ships last time, I think he switched to heavies. And we have a battle. Inca versus the Prussians fighting in the jungles. No terrain penalties yet. Okay, here we go. We've unpaused. We have Inca coming in. We have Prussia coming in. There are 43,000 Prussians against 73,000 Incans. 130% discipline against 118. 10 morale versus 8. But the Prussians are on a -1. The Prussians have, in fact, withdrawn because there are a lot of Inca on the way in to fight against them. So the Prussians are going to fall back behind their fort line. Meanwhile, these guys are going to continue pushing up, probably forming a new front line about here, I would assume. And it does look like the Texans have been building forts as soon as I can find the fort map mode. There it is. They have. So they have established zones of control. In fact, the Prussians have to take Trotzil. So this is like one of the most strategic locations in Mexico right now, followed probably by Coyoacan. And Trotzil is jungle, that's Highland. They will be getting bonuses from those. And then they have a string of forts behind. So this is some nice defense in depth here. I like what I am seeing. Although, are they all level 8? That is level 8. And then it was this one, which is level 8. So yes. Texas has definitely built up their defenses. Prussia has built up their defenses. And Inca's just using sheer weight of numbers at the moment to kick in. Avionics. Yeah, Netherlands is currently protected. So you should be alright. Okay, so the war between the Timurids, Hindustan and Andalusia has ended. The Timurids probably... Oh no, there is a player. I don't know what was lost, if anything. Let's take a look. Diplomatic map mode. So the Timurids lost their 3 territories here, which Hindustan have just grabbed. So not a huge loss, all things considered. Timurids held up and held out. France also pieced out. Not France, Russia. I'm so used to Calico being France. Did they take anything? Yes, they took a bunch of land up here. So the Timurids lost a lot of their steppe ground in the north, but they still have the very, very wealthy Persia. So the Timurids still powerful, although definitely having taken a bit of a blow there. Meanwhile, Milan has declared war on the Ottomans. So there is in fact a repeat of last time. So the Ottomans currently scrambling some of their troops together. We have a humongous papal navy coming in to blockade Istanbul. This is probably overkill. Okay, there we go, splitting them up. And the Papal States do have the largest navy in the world at the moment, with a whopping 424 vessels versus the Ottomans 156. The Ottomans have 66 galleys against 100 Papal States. The only thing the Papal States has not invested in at all is heavy ships, so it would be extremely difficult, huzzah, to take out the British, for example. Frogger Pirates coming in with a 16-month resubscription. Thank you very much for that, Frogger. Thank you. Poor Timurids are between a rock and a hard place, and a couple of large bonuses, large booms to boot. Yeah, Timurids are going to struggle. It's going to depend on who exactly they can bring together as allies. So here we go, we have the Ottomans, 90,000 men jumping in on 40. The Milan has very much spread out their offensive, which is probably a mistake. We don't know exactly where the Papal forces are right now. I was wondering if the Papal States might be trying a southern attack. Oh no, the Papal States is up here lurking. Okay, so the Ottomans can actually see the Papal forces. They are just moving in to defend, probably letting Milan suffer some attrition here, although Milan has managed the supply weight really quite well and is not going to be taking a huge amount of attrition from that conflict. Maurici, meanwhile, in Brazil, currently fighting against Japan alongside Maguindanao. This is Magindanao's War of Independence. Shan is going after Maguindanao, this time not protected by Brazil, so it looks like Brazil has abandoned that alliance. And then Andalusia currently fighting against the Congo, trying to take some more territories down here, I suspect. Meanwhile, oh yeah, apparently the substitute player for Brazil did some massive damage to Brazil, which is why we need to be a little bit careful about, yeah, I turned them into a theocracy of all things. If you're going to substitute in for somebody else, don't just take that opportunity to screw them. Because they've really been quite screwed. Like, they have no prestige. They took a bunch of corruption. They lost a big war against the Inca, where the Inca just took a bunch of territory and flipped them over to theocracy. Ah! Almost impossible to defend against, though. Yeah, lame. That's definitely the word for it. Lame. If you're going to do more damage than good, then don't offer to sub. Meanwhile, the war against the Ottomans, it looks like this is just scrambling for position right now. I suspect that the more active conflict is going to be the one over here between the Prussians and the Texans. The Texans have drawn up their defensive line. Trotzil has in fact fallen, and Prussia is at the moment just consolidating their gains here in the north. The front line is being pushed forwards, but Texas does have a lot of troops there. Meanwhile, in the south, the Inca are pushing forwards, although they are not currently trying to take any territory. They are just pushing forwards, getting ready to fight if necessary. Now, what can the Inca see? The Inca can see this entire area, so they know that there are no Prussians actually down here. So they may well want to be putting a little bit of pressure on these southern territories for Texas. Or Inca is waiting for some ships to transport them to the main fight. Because most of the fighting is going to be up here, depending, of course, on how Inca's defenses are. That's a level 6 fort. That's a level 6 fort. Okay, so Inca are actually a little bit behind in terms of defenses. And if we take a look at their forts, there is a giant hole right here. So once they've broken through Darien and Veragos, which admittedly is 2 forts, they have some protection, their hinterlands are pretty much open. These forts aren't protecting that at all. They need to get one over here. Probably this one. Naiva. Which they're currently coring. Okay, fair enough. And this is a mount. Oh no, that wouldn't protect the coast. It's got to be Pastos. Like, you don't get any... Oh, no. Quito. Put a fort in Quito and you're protecting this whole area, and it's a mountain. Did the Timurids break Timmy's... Sorry, did Hindustan break Timurids' overlordship of Afghanistan? No. Afghanistan is still theirs. Why am I not zooming? Zoom. Okay. Prussia gathering 100,000 men. And then promptly realizing the mistake. So Prussia, I think, is using regular soldiers as opposed to mercenaries. So they can't really afford to take attrition, unlike, say, Russia and Hindustan, who've been using a lot of mercenaries. But Prussia does have 200,000 manpower out of the 375 they're allowed to have. I wonder if those Warcraft impressions are going to get me demonetized on YouTube. They might do, you know. No, it's not a soundtrack. It should be alright. Right, so what's happening to the Ottomans? We should be zooming to... Oh, it zooms to everyone else except for the Ottomans. Bah humbug! So the Ottomans look like they've just withdrawn from the front line. They've moved back to Koshali, so they're basically giving up their Balkan and Greek territories for that. Now, Ottomans are not a great power. They are fighting against the Papal States. They are also fighting against Milan, who is not a great power. So this war is 1 great power versus 0. So the Ottomans were mentioning to me that they felt that they were in serious danger because Russia was not allied to them. The AI, when they took over the Ottomans, broke the alliance with Russia. Russia could still intervene. This is a great power. Russia could do a great power intervention if they wanted to. Meanwhile, we have the Mamelukes against the Ottomans. The Mamelukes are not a great power, so no intervention is possible there. But they could definitely do it against the Papal States. Still no fights over there. Okay, so the Incas are starting to move up to Guyani. They are taking attrition, albeit not nearly as much as I kind of expected them to be taking, considering the number of troops here. They do have a lot of artillery of the mercenary infantry army. If you're going to do attrition damage, then that's probably the way you want to take it. Just paying for the manpower. What is Russia's max manpower? 963,000. And Hindustan's is 629,000. Prussia's is 373. Austria's is 152. But, and here is the big question. Lake Belaton is guarded. We do have the Belaton Guard standing here, defending, making sure that nothing untoward emerges from it. The quiet waters shall ripple no longer. You can only do great power intervention if there are great powers on both sides of the war. Really? How does that make sense? Well, I guess it just stops a great power intervening every time there's a small war going on. Huh. Okay. Well, all the same, Russia could still just declare war on Papal States, I suspect. Yeah, because Imperialism CB is a thing now. So if Russia really cared about the Ottomans, they could intervene. There are ways.